Welcome back. Today we want to talk about 5 left field interview questions you may get and how to answer them. Now, if you've been following us, you know that you can prepare fairly well for most interview questions. If you have a good elevator pitch, a
Right.
good closing technique, a strategy for handling objections or tough
Right.
questions, and a few good stories up your sleeve for behavioral interviews, you can pretty much be well set for most interviews.
Yes. However, when there are these left field questions that come up,
Mhm.
it really is challenging to fully be prepared
Yeah.
for those questions because they are always changing. And often these questions are asked to unsettle you. They're doing that on purpose.
Mhm.
So answering them gives you a chance to really show how you can recover, be quick on your feet.
Mhm.
So if you just have that mindset, I think that's really helpful.
It's so important.
Yeah.
And they're a moving target. I mean, every time we meet with our students, we hear about new ones that are coming up, and some are more ridiculous than others.
Right.
But today we're going to share just 5 examples
Right.
of left field questions we've heard our students be asked.
Right.
And then we'll talk about how to answer them. So one example is, if our team was a bike, what part of the bike would you be? Another similar one, who is your superhero and why?
Mhm.
If you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? Sometimes it's if you were a dog or if you were a tree. Those are common. If you won the $10 million lotto
Right.
tomorrow, how would you spend the money?
I would not apply for this job.
I was going to say, that would be a really good answer. And what the fifth one is, what are 4 possible uses for this box of paper clips or this stapler or whatever happens to be on their desk?
Right. And the thing to remember in answering all these questions is this: there are no right or wrong answers. So just give yourself that little
Permission,
tidbit of
yeah.
information,
Yeah.
little permission
Yeah.
slip. And how you answer is far more important than what you
Mhm.
answer.
Mhm.
So let's really dive into that.
Okay. All right. So the bike question.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about your qualities
Mhm.
and then think about the parts of a bike and think about what part of that bike aligns with your qualities. So, for example, the person who told us this story was actually my daughter. She said the handlebars because I'm a leader, I'm always in charge. But if your skills are more efficiency,
Mhm.
the gears are what make the bike efficient. So if you're an engineer, you might say efficient. If you are someone who likes to keep things in check, maybe an auditor, an accountant, you might say the brakes because they keep things in control. So
I would say the bell.
for the bell, right? That's right.
Right? Like,
Because you're the welcomer. Yeah.
you know, you're doing great.
Exactly.
Say hello to everybody. Yeah.
I'd probably be the handlebars just like my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the next one?
The superhero.
Yeah, the superhero. And I think the superhero and the animal are kind of the same.
Okay.
Again, you want to think of the animal or the superhero whose qualities align with yours, and of course, align with your positive qualities.
Mhm.
So let's say you're going for a job in employee relations. Employee relations, it's a lot of dealing with difficult personalities. You might say Labrador Retriever
Mhm.
because they're really in tune with other people's feelings. They're
Mhm.
very warm. If using the dog example again, if you were applying for some type of law enforcement job, you might say a German Shepherd because of their loyalty and their smarts and their fearlessness. Same thing with the superhero. Let's say the most important part of the job is agility. You're coming in to help run an agile workplace, and you're going to be moving into the organization at a time during change. You might say Spider-Man because of his flexibility. So it's always just taking. I don't know anything
The
about.
essence of
And I know nothing about Spider-Man because I don't watch superhero movies, but I know he climbs. So I came up with that answer right here on the fly. So it's just kind of thinking about what's going to be legitimate, the
Mhm.
quality that I have, and then being able to talk about it within that context of the animal or the tree or the superhero.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. How about the lottery question?
This is a good one because you have to be honest.
You're not going to say what I said.
Yeah, I think that answer would
Really?
be absolutely
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
If you didn't hear what Kelly said as a joke, she said, I probably wouldn't be applying for this job. That's a great answer because remember, it's not what you're saying, it's the confidence with which you deliver it.
Right.
And that would have been a great one because it's a dumb question.
Well, is it the confidence is one piece of it, but is it also the authenticity? Because they really
Yeah.
want to see, like, who am I
Yeah.
working with?
Yeah, so I'm
Who is
working
this
with someone who has a good sense of humor and who's confident.
person? Right.
Because only a confident person would say something like that. What you don't want to say, conversely, is I would give it all away because that's lying. I mean, basically, like I don't want to be with someone who's that good, and it seems inauthentic. So, but it is a chance to show your values. So I think Kelly's answer is great if you feel comfortable saying that. The most comfortable answer for most people would be talk about where you might give some away,
Mhm.
and that gives them a little window into your life because you might say, I have a single aunt who's struggling, I would give, $1 million to her. And
Yep.
so that tells you a little bit about your stock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cancer survivor, or I'm an environmentalist, so I would give X amount to that. But I would stay shy. I would shy away from saying I would give it all away, because I just feel like that's kind of a lame answer.
Okay.
It's almost like the question we've given in other examples where, what's your weakness? I'm a perfectionist.
Yes.
It's just kind of like, eh.
Well, and I think the way that you can come at these questions that can feel like a challenge and turn it around so that you are making it something that makes you stand out.
Exactly.
Which is your whole job on an interview.
And to be memorable.
Yes.
So your answer was memorable.
Yes. And so you don't want to say something that is cliche,
Right.
Or is
Exactly.
like the good answer,
Yeah.
the safe answer. You really want to have something that you're going to be remembered by, but remembered in a good and
Mhm.
professional way.
Mhm.
Because I think sometimes these questions too can also be trying to push you off of.
And sometimes they are leading you there. Sometimes
Yes.
they are in the gray area of even propriety,
Mhm.
depending on how far the interviewer wants to push you. So yes, you want to stay professional, you want to stay confident, you want to give an authentic answer, and by doing things, you'll be memorable if
Yes.
you do those things.
Okay, and then the last one that you talked about
Yeah.
was the paperclip question.
Questions like this are the ones that trip people up the most.
Okay.
Because the others you can kind of, if you're quick on your feet, you can kind of BS your way through this. But this one, you've got to actually look at something and figure it out.
Yep.
But remember, what they're looking for in this answer is just testing to see how creative you are, testing to see how resourceful you are, testing your confidence in under heat. So you would take the box of paper clips, because usually it's something that they have in a desk, and look at it. Give yourself a second. Say, well, obviously, I could use it as a paper clip. I could also dump the box out and use it as a box. I could unfold the box, and if I was out of paper, I could use it as something for writing. I could link the paper clips together and make a necklace or make a chain. I could open up a paper clip and use it to pick a lock.
I
Right?
could put them through my ears like I did when I was a young girl.
Exactly.
To make dangly earrings because I wasn't allowed to wear them.
Exactly. That's good. It's another good authentic answer. So again, thinking on the spot, not worrying about right or wrong, and understanding that these are playful questions. Another thing to know is that if you're getting asked these questions, they like you.
Yeah.
They're not going to waste this question on someone that they don't like. Because if I know, and I usually know within the first few minutes whether I'm going to hire you or not, if I already know I'm not going to hire you, I'm not going to invest a lot of time in these fun questions, because I just kind of want to get it done with. No offense. But
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
So at the end of the day, it's the way to ace these questions is just to answer them confidently and with a smile on your face, because
Yeah.
the smile can really do a lot when
Mhm.
you're doing this. The
Mhm.
other thing that there's one thing before we end. When you get a question like this and you get thrown off, one of the things that we've told our students
Yeah.
is it's okay to sort of talk it
Pause.
out loud, right? Pause.
The best
and
way to
then-
pause without sitting there silently like this, trying to think of it, is to restate the question. So using the paperclip example. Okay, so you're asking me what uses, 4 uses for this box of paperclips. Okay. So what I've done is I restated the question, but I restated it slowly, which gave me my brain a little time to start thinking about what I could do, as opposed to being asked the question and then staring at the box of paperclips. It feels longer when it's quiet.
Right.
All right.
So there you have it, 5 left field interview questions and how to answer them. If you liked what you heard today, you can visit us and learn more about our programming at www.preparetolaunchu.com. Thanks.